I want to talk about success and self compassion. You know, how we imagine success is such a weird perspective in what it looks like. And, the story that we're told is that we have to, grab things and you climb to the top and you're going towards some particular pinnacle of something, and that's how you actually achieve success. I study a great deal about success and failure and how we understand these particular things, and the stories that we say, we're always, and even the culture that we have around the world, we're reaching towards some pinnacle, whatever that particular thing is, but there's no stories ever of what it actually means to get there. What does that mean to go through and to get success, to feel that you're actually successful? And the trouble is when you go through this, you're going to want to do all of these tactics and it's going to seem really cut and dry. I was trained as an engineer, and that was a sort of belief that I had for a while, is that everything was going to be cut and dry. You do this, and everything's going to work out for you. But the thing is, the journey that you go through, it's not filled with success in the way that you might think about. That's not what happens. In fact, it is a big blurry mess. There's not single outcomes that happen where you have success and failure and all this sort of probability stuff that happens. And the reason why I call it probability stuff, because that's how we imagine it to happen within the literature, is that there's this binary thing that happens, but it's a big blurry mess. And you don't really know when success really happens. Maybe there might be a significant event that happens in your life where that does happen. You get into graduate school, you get into, the whatever, and that is your big success. But for most of the time, it's a blurry mess. You don't know where you are. And because we don't know where we are, we often feel a lot of really not good feelings and good emotions. And we don't know how to process all of this uncertainty and ambiguity that exists in the world. There's not like this burr, burr. Not at all. It's a giant mess. And when we feel like that, when there's all this sort of uncertainty in the world, we sort of default towards thinking, at least I do, maybe you do, I don't know, I default towards thinking that I'm not good enough. I have all of these negative feelings in my head. I feel like, I'm a mess. I can't figure things out. I don't know what to do. Some people, if you're on the sort of more on the other trait, the other side of this particular trait, and I'm not saying everybody's like this, and I'm not saying that we're sort of uniform in all sorts of ways, but other people will always think that they're amazing. And that's never been me. And I think a lot of people probably feel the same way that I feel. And those people that always feel amazing, I don't need to actually do this video for them because they're never going to watch this anyways. So, what I want you to recognize, I think an important thing that you need to process and deal with is just have a lot of self-compassion for who you are. And it doesn't matter. What do I mean by that? I'm talking about being empathetic towards you and reflecting on that, hey, you're good enough no matter where you are and what you're actually doing. And this sort of climbing nonsense really doesn't make sense in this world. What are we climbing towards? What is that? I don't know what that is. And when you get there, you look around, you're like, this is the exact same thing that we've always had. Nothing has changed, right? Nothing has changed. So I just want you to remember when you're going through this is that you're perfectly fine with who you are, and that it took a great deal of effort to get to whatever it is that you're going to and what you are at this moment. And I think we need to reflect on that and say that I'm not a failure. in the way that everybody sort of defines it. And I'm probably not a success in the way that everybody defines it, whatever that looks like. It's such a weird and peculiar thing to think about this. Yet it's so ingrained in the culture that we actually have. I am moving towards a perspective where I try not to think about success and failure in any sort of way. I try to think about that I'm just good. I'm me, and I'm trying to do good, whatever that is. Sometimes I get those things maybe not as bang on as I thought I would, but I try. I just get up and I keep trying every day. I keep doing the things that maybe help out other people. I do things that help out me. I try to get exercise. I try to just be whatever it is I am today. And if it means that I need to spend more time with friends and family to feel like I'm going to be normal again, I think that's perfectly fine. And if it means that I need more time to work and to study and to do things like that, that's perfectly fine too. I think we tend to put all of this emotions and categories on these different things that we do in our life of being right or wrong or correct, but really it's not. There's none of that. We just have to live our life much more like we're just here. We're doing our thing and we're loving ourselves as we go, trying to love ourselves as we go. I don't think we always feel like that, but coming back to feeling like I'm good enough with who I am, and I'm just going to keep doing these things. And if other people don't like that, well, that's on them. That is their problem. It's not me. I'm actually doing the right thing, whatever that right thing is, as long as I'm trying to do that thing. And that's it. That's all I can say, is to have some compassion for yourself. Know that how much or whatever happened to you is a really difficult thing. And you can do a lot more if you simply just reflect on, man, it was tough to get here. And there was a lot of things that happened along the way, but you got there. And then on top of it, you can keep going. I mean, make it really tiny, really simple. Things that are simple, that are tiny, that are meaningless, those are the things that really give you a tremendous amount of joy. For example, having an apple. When you have a good apple, totally meaningless in the grand scheme of things. But man, have you ever bitten into a really good apple? My life changes at that moment. I feel so good. I feel like this is amazing. Yet it's the most meaningless thing in the world. That's all I want to share, is none of this big grand stuff of tackling all of this really is a big thing. What matters is you being you and being okay with who you are. And taking those little steps every day to get a little better, whatever that thing is, and that's it. And if you don't get better, that's fine too. It's all good. All right, take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye.